Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dalaran, and Warrior has been finally added into the Torghast runs on the Alpha. I wanted to do a Torghast run on a Fury Warrior. I did a live stream where we ran a build on Arms Warrior, but this time I want to take Fury for a spin. We're going to do some medium floors in order to see what the powers of the anima are, in order what kind of builds you might be able to come up. Now, Warriors have gotten a lot more anima abilities, and then the newest class that can finally access Torghast in a legit way. Technically, you could have grouped up with a Warrior as a Priest or Warlock, and they could still get into the Tower of Torghast through those methods. So this is finally Blizzard made it a legitimate way for you to queue Warrior by yourself, so it should be close to finalized, although some of the anima abilities Warriors have are placeholder. Like, it actually don't have anything insanely strong or a lot of epic abilities are still there yet. But anyway, we'll take a look at the Warrior, where it's at, and just take a look at how it plays. Now, when I played the Arms Warrior, it was actually quite difficult because, well, your survivability as arms is quite low. As Fury, you have self-heals with Bloodthirst, and these are the general towns that we'll go for. We could go for Furious Charge, but I think the War Paint damage reduction is going to be nice. Siegebreaker, Wrecking Ball, Fervor for Battle, because it has a very cheesy thing with the extra slam damage that you might be able to put up. Sudden Death, Double Time Fresh Meat, but we might swap them around as time goes on. We also will summon our Steward in order to get ourselves a kind of like a cheesy version of a Health Stone. It's not as good as a Health Stone, but it might help us survive. First ability we have, Charge and Heroic Leap, increase the damage zone by 200% for 4 seconds. Our Whirlwind pulls through our enemies. We have to go with the extra damage every time we charge our Whirlwind. Good thing we have 2 charges available. So every time we leap or charge, we do insane damage. So hopefully we might be able to... I wonder if that can stack. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, but that'll be insane. And off the bat, we got a oppressive aura ×2. So negative 13 haste, movement speed down to a crawl. This is gonna go really well. Let's just get a charge in off of this guy. Oh my god, the damage. Oh my god, the damage already as a warrior. There it is. Let's get a charge. We'll leap in, unlock ourselves an extra power. Master of Phantasma will go for the extra mastery in order to build up the strength buff. And here's the first sentinel that is actually blocking our haste increases. So we have 2 of them in a close proximity. I'm gonna try to approach the tower in a slightly different way. Normally you would have a bunch of animal powers, but since we don't really have a lot to work with yet, I'm just gonna try to do as much of this tower as I can before hitting the sentinels, and I'll try to collect as much animal power before I try to tackle them. But I at least do want to give them a go. And Fury already feels a little bit better as a beginning compared to Arms, or at least right now. And there's the second one. Damn, they're so close to one another. It's actually kind of nuts. Gonna charge into a Whirlwind to follow. Yeah, this charge damage for 4 seconds is kind of nuts. So let's get another charge in to a big Rampage right after. Oh yeah, no, this is huge. This is actually insane damage. Go for a crit. Bloodthirst. Get the Bloodthirst off. Get a charge into a Raging Blow. And because of all this haste, we actually cannot get the globals to fill out the value of this right here. The 4 seconds turn to basically 1 global of an ability, which is a little bit agonizing. Already we picked up a follower, so hopefully he'll be able to draw some aggro from us. Certain of these followers actually have gotten buffs, so they do quite a bit of damage, particularly the fairies. The fairy followers are quite strong right now. Let's drop in our Covenant. Okay, so Covenant ability and auto attack during a charge was enough to just do absurd amounts of damage. Okay, that can work. Could I actually charge in and just obliterate everything in this area? Like all those guys standing there. I think I could. We're gonna try to... Okay, well we can't now. Okay, we didn't pull the big guy. That's the most important part. Hold on. Short leap. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Huge damage. Oh yeah. Oh, this is nuts. Oh yeah, that little leap that we did, the little hop, that was enough to get us rolling. Armor increase and block value increase, it is nice. Don't really know if we'll really get that much value off of it. Now, I would like to kind of get this guy away from me. I could charge back into Big Bloodthirst. Rampage. Oh wow, this is actually... I think we got probably one of the strongest abilities to begin with. Another one, we either have Insane Rage Cost or Champion of Champion's Decree. Break It, Ashen Phylactery, increases the damage of an next slam by 5%. So this one actually has a little bit of a cheese value together with Fervor for Battle. Whirlwind generates more rage and slams your primary target. However, that slam never consumes this buff right here. So if we can get a bunch of these and just Whirlwind, eventually that slam, which baseline does very little damage, 518, which actually I guess isn't terrible. The damage it does is actually going to be quite good. These guys have gotten strength, so they're going to do a lot of damage. Actually hit him with a carrying ability. He's probably going to pull extra, isn't he? He does. Okay. Need a heal. And I got my Venthyr friend actually holding off the guard. And as you can see, he actually does quite a bit of damage, this Venthyr guy. He's actually doing quite a lot of damage. I don't know why this man is stuck. I can just sit out here and just let him do damage for me. Yeah, so the buff to him quite a bit. And there's a lot more new followers that you can get that can help you deal with certain trash packs. Let's try to see if we can gain some health here a little. Yeah, that's a big execute. Is this a free anima or is this a bait? Free anima. And we can either go for immunity or a bunch of phantasma. I think we will actually want to take this immunity and see if we can take care of the oppressive aura dudes. Because this will be the perfect time to do it. We'll get our charges and leaps and everything. So let me come back when we are over there. Alright, here we are. Sentinel, and they got a bunch of dudes around him. So we'll want to pop our invulnerability. Get ourselves a buff. We can charge in and go for as much damage as humanly possible. Go for a little leap just to increase our damage even further. Can I get a charge into Kyrian Spear? Yeah, that did a lot of damage. Yeah, that was actually nuts. Yeah, I think I found the strongest ability for warriors in general. The charge for 200% extra damage. Maybe it's Fury that's a little bit scaled way out of control here, but that felt great. Care of all these guys. We got ourselves anima power from the urn. And now we're gonna deal with a lot less of that debuff. Extra armor, which I'll take. Technically block isn't bad for Fury, since I could swap to a weapon with a sword and board and go for a shield slam. So block chance isn't the worst. However, it's just not optimal. Yeah, look at this damage. It just gets obliterated. Imagine getting this in some of the higher wings and just going in for big numbers. Even Prot could probably get out some great damage. One more anima power we have. Duration of one of your shouts is increased by 500%, which out the Singing Stones effect. So when you pick up Singing Stones, once you select them, it takes a random shout, whether it's Rallying Cry, whether it is Battle Shout. This will be a lot better for Protection Warrior because you can go for Demoralizing Shout and make that last way longer. But we're gonna go with Champion's Decree just so we can stack even more damage for our slams. As we're killing urns, we are never having to actually legit consume slam. And we'll bring our Venthyr friend to the medallion and see what powers we get from him. Pretty sure it's just gonna be crit, but I would love something incredible. It is gonna be Phantasma or crit. We'll take the crit chance just so we can grow more in power, at least for the time being. I wonder if maybe Bounding Stride might be better because of my build, so I can leap a lot more often, so I can set up bursts a lot more regularly. But I guess only time will tell. I think I'll stick with my build for now, unless we get some kind of a crazy synergy with Heroic Leaps, and we get another Oppressive Aura. Not a huge fan of the Oppressive Aura, but it does create a little bit of difficulty in the Torghast. Do we do it? I believe so. We're gonna leap in, hit him with a Kyrian Spear, and execute. Yeah, it didn't take a lot. Wow, Fury Warrior feels pretty insane for Torghast. I think this is the only time I've had a truly easy run with Torghast in terms of just the difficulty of enemies just being not really existing. Oh, big guy over here. Yeah, Tremor Beast. We'll probably want to try to take this out as the last enemy. We got even more urns to break, so we're gonna increase our slam damage even further. I think it stacks up to the maximum of 100. We got ourselves Ignore Pain absorbs additional damage equal to your health or Soul's Blessing. Increases the duration of Enrage Regen by 10% per application. So does that mean every time we use Enrage Regen we actually get longer or duration, or is it per Unbound Fortitude? We got a freebie ability. Berserk lasts 100% longer and causes your party members to go berserk. Don't really know if Berserk does anything though, but okay. Wrecking Ball, which is here. We become enraged with a 24% chance to make an next whirlwind deal more damage. We could throw that together with Bladestorm or Dragon's Roar, or extra Ignore Pain. Well, I don't think I can actually. I mean, I guess I could. No, extra talents is generally good. Yeah, I feel like the extra talents should probably be better. Dragon's Roar or Bladestorm. We'll go Bladestorm because there's certain bosses we actually can use Bladestorm in order to kind of avoid certain mechanics. I think that's how we'll do it. Plus Bladestorm while charging to have an increased damage effect could also be really good. That doesn't feel too terrible. The damage of spells and abilities empower your next weapon, increasing the damage of your next melee attack. The damage in spells and abilities. Wait, so as long as what? Interesting pathing. That's not what I wanted, but it's okay. Is this essentially like just extra passive auto attack damage? Is that what that is supposed to be? I'm gonna guess it is. Just because I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's just passive auto attack. That's so weird. We got ourselves double time, immunity, or longer duration of enrage. With double time, we can go from Penavitcher or Stormbolt, which I think we will. I think that might be the best option for us. So our slam now does 15,000 damage because of the buff that we have. None of our other abilities hit nearly as hard. So let's try to see if we can get a charge and then just slam, slam, slam into Rampage again. Execute. I think slam is actually our hardest hitting ability. Yeah. Yeah, so now slam is actually kind of a nuts ability now. Whirlwind itself isn't, but the slam itself is. How hard did that actually hit the boss? Whirlwind, the phylactery, Tremor Beast. So slam can hit up to, well, here it says 4,000, 14,000 here. So maybe there's a little bit of a desync between this ability and this slam, or maybe it was something else that was buffing my character. Okay, well, it doesn't seem to be too far off at least. Casting Spear of Bastion also applies 5 stacks of Sunder Armor to the target, reducing the armor by 25% for 30 seconds. Or actually healing. I think we have to go with Sunder Armor. Classic days of wait for 5 Sunders. We're just gonna use the Spear of Bastion. So that should give us a ton more damage. So essentially we'll charge in, Spear of Bastion onto an enemy, hopefully get enrage, and then get a bunch of slams while enraged. So that should do the most amount of damage for us, honestly. Is this the buy floor? It looks like it is. So even more free earned for us to cap. Now that we have our slam damage increased by 1,000%. Getting hits has a 10% chance to grant you Ignore Pain. Critical Strike. I feel like Ignore Pain is pretty nice. And there's the Taragru right there. Just staring right at us. Man, this made me even scarier. Enemies affected by your shouts take 20% increased damage. That's a Prot Warrior ability. There's nothing really that we can use unless they're talking about Intimidating Shout. Embedded Victory takes 5 Phantasma from the target or increases crit chance. We'll go for extra damage output. We can also go for extra crit chance, crit damage, mastery, and I guess we could do the extra. We'll go with actually Anima Cell, just to make sure we can buy at all times. I don't think we're gonna have any issues on economy. We can turn him into Phantasma. We also got our final ability here. Duration of Recklessness and Bladestorm are increased by 40%, which I think we have to go for that since we do run Bladestorm. We got plenty of Phantasma. So that should be pretty good. We actually are starting to put together quite a good build. And we're only a few levels in, which means that this is so far a very, very lucky run. There's some runs that I've been in where it just has been super unluck. This next room seems to be a very short room. Well, I use this ability maybe a little too early. Ooh. Okay, at least we got a heal. Trying to see if I might be able to fear him. Okay, yeah, so they do get a debuff, and it lasts only as long as they're under a shout. So it does get removed as soon as you break the fear, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. He has this armor plating buff, which is super obnoxious to deal with. We're gonna go for a little bit of defensiveness here. Hit him with a slow, and I think we'll just have to wait until we can get a charge into Spear of Bastion. He almost has a buff here, where he takes like no physical damage. There it goes. He stacked up a strength buff too high, and he also has a buff that he builds for himself, where he takes no physical damage. I did not mean to pull that guy. I don't know if we can get around him, because I don't want to wait for Spear of Bastion before I try to tackle him on again. Another one up here. Okay. Really doesn't end, does it? Oh god. Lord. So dead. So I died twice now. I probably should really stop that. I'm trying to kind of push into these enemies and they're just stronger and stronger. I'm just gonna wait until I have my cooldowns, because one more death and Targru is gonna try to see if he can kick me out of the of this run. Get a charge into a spear. So now he has a bunch of Sunder armor. Oh, big heal loss. Okay, we got a heal. We can get another leap. Okay, we survived. That was really, really tough. We gotta go for extra armor, because nothing else is really gonna help us that much. We got a rare here. We got a big boy over there. So we're really surrounded on all times. Let's try to see if we can clear the way and try to do as much as we can before we absolutely have to fight the rest of these other enemies. Here we go. Grant extra power. Either abilities cost no rage or killing a Mara increases health. I think I will take the Morat, because I should be able to gain quite a bit of health over time. We're gonna fight the Seeker of Souls later. Instead, we're gonna go into the Shackler. Feel a little bit more comfortable fighting him first. We got heal for 50% of the damage dealt by Whirlwind. When you attack a new creature you healed, or sense treasure chest and elite enemies. We're gonna go for extra whirlwind damage, since we are gonna be whirlwinding for the slams. We'll try to go for extra healing from there, since we are looking like we might be able to prioritize those abilities over others. Small leap, so we can go for slams. Oh yeah, these slams are doing a lot now. Okay. Increase maximum health by 60, or just do a bunch of damage to enemies in the opener. Damage an enemy will apply frostbite, dealing damage equal to 50% of the total hit points. So essentially we can burst things down or go for health. You know, after this encounter we didn't really survive all that well, so we're gonna go for health once. Because the damage of our whirlwind as well will continue scaling damage wise, and that's gonna be the end of this room, which, while small, it proved to be a little bit more of a challenge than I expected. We have duration of Recklessness, a Blade Storm increased even further. Let's continue on with the extra damage. I would think the armor would be a lot better, but of course, one of them is a lot more fun than the other. What else do we have? Absorb 60% of the damage when dropped below, or just do a bunch of burst damage to enemies. Let's do the burst damage, because I feel like we are able to... If we're able to kill the enemies before they can kill us, this won't work for bosses all that well, but if we're able to burst down normal adds before they kill us, then we can outlive them. We're gonna go and get ourselves 2 anima cells. We can either get War Machine or a talent. War Machine could go together with Sudden Death, but it's not super important. I think the War Machine is going to be better though, in terms of just raw numbers. And we can either go increase jumps or do... I want to try the jump. Oh, wow, you really go a distance. That's gonna feel weird. Yeah, this jump thing is gonna be weird. But it's gonna be nice to be able to get away from an enemy and then charge back in, if anything. Like right here. Well, the boss died very, very quickly. I mean, it was a little sloppy with me jumping all over the place like an idiot, but he died really quickly. I am surprised. And as we see with warriors, we don't have any cool abilities, we just have placeholders. We'll take this placeholder, and we're not gonna complain about it. Right, Blizzard? Grab the vases in case there's an anima thing that spawns from there. Oh, almost fell off down. I don't want to do that. And one-shot the boss for 100k, no biggie. Dropped ourselves an anima power. Either thorns back damage on enemies or increased primary stat. We're gonna go for continued glass cannon run. And get a nice charge spear into the rest of the enemies. Just cleared the room in a single blade storm that lasts forever. Wait, hold on. I can't open it because blade storm lasts a little too long for what I'm used to. What we're gonna do is we're gonna leap past the boss, hit him with a carrion spear. He took quite a bit of... Oh, he takes damage forever. He actually takes damage forever. Okay. Huh. 30 minutes. I didn't realize. That's going to be the wrap up for our warrior run in Torghast. As you can see, the Fury Warrior really has quite a bit of damage that it can put up behind. And if it were to continue on to further floors, this would be a cake run. However, the only thing I would be focusing on from here on is maybe some survivability. However, if we're able to nuke the enemies down fast enough, we are able to get quite a bit of damage. I do wonder if the Kirin Spear could be used to cheese certain bosses, certain enemies, to just kind of put a dot on them forever and just kind of kite them around the room, since we're able to just jump around and avoid enemies. So this could be something interesting, maybe for really tough floors. But we were only starting to stack up with all the other stats, all the other damage increases overall. We had ourselves a really solid run with a massive amount of damage from a single slam, having much of a damage increase up to 1600, but not in, 49,000, not encountering rage. It was going to be quite a bit. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see all of you guys in another video.